everyone, I'm Emily, editor of Autism Parenting magazine, and this is your preview into our September issue. The theme for September's magazine is nonverbal communication, and we chose this theme because we know so many of our readers have a child or children on the spectrum who is nonverbal or non-vocal. And we often get questions from readers asking how they can help their child to communicate, how they can encourage their speech to progress, and what they should be thinking about long term for their child if they're not vocal. First of all, the key thing that you will find running through all our articles on this topic is to remember that non-vocal or non-verbal does not mean non-communicative. Everybody communicates, and just because your child doesn't speak, it does not mean that they don't have something important to say. So you'll see in our articles the key message to take away is take note of every sign your child gives you, from their eye movement to their movements to their gestures to what they're pointing at, and you can really grow that communication between parent and child. So among the articles on this theme, we have an article looking at the best toys for your late talker, so toys you can use both for play and for learning. We have an article about speech delay versus autism. So sometimes people might think their child is on the autism spectrum because their child hasn't yet uttered their first words, and perhaps their peers are a little ahead of them in terms of verbal communication. So this article looks at the differences between late talking and autism, and what signs to look for that might indicate that your child is on the spectrum, or might suggest that your child is simply a late bloomer in the area of speech and communication. We have an article on a slightly different theme, which is planning long term for your child. So we know a lot of our readers worry about what's going to happen as their child grows up, perhaps when their parents are older and unable to care for them in the same way, or after the parent passes away. They might also be thinking about where their child is going to live long term as they get older. Will they be able to live independently? What kind of financial support needs to be put in place? So this article attempts to touch on all of those important questions and help provide some answers. We also have an article titled "What is Relationship Development Intervention?" So in each issue of the magazine, we try to include insight into different types of therapies and treatments, and relationship development intervention is one that not everyone knows a lot about. So we hope that this will be useful for you and your kids. So there's all of this and so much more in the September issue of the magazine. We hope you enjoy it. We hope you find it useful, and we thank you so much for reading the publication and getting involved in our autism community. See you next month.